Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today we will be doing something a bit interesting. This is the 2024 presidential election map between only the third-party candidates. Now, there is a wide range of third-party candidates who are at least on one ballot. You've got Chase Oliver and Jill Stein, the only two third-party candidates, Libertarian and Green, who are on enough state ballots to actually get 270 electoral votes. But this scenario is that all of the third-party candidates are on every single ballot, just whatever, just for the purpose of the video. And then you've got some others like Claudia de la Cruz, Cornel West, who I included up here in the map, of course, because they are somewhat prominent. Both are socialists. Cornel West is independent. De la Cruz is from the Party of Socialism and Liberation. Then the rest of these candidates are those without enough ballot access to possibly win. I mean, of course, not in this scenario. Again, they're on every ballot. But you've got Randall Terry, a conservative of the Constitution Party. You got Peter Sonsky of the American Solidarity Party. Very interestingly, this party is socially conservative but fiscally progressive, which you don't see very often. Usually people are the opposite. And then from the Socialist Workers' Party. I didn't include them here. I mean, just because you've got, like basically three socialists already, they'd barely get any votes considering these other third-party candidates who are also socialists and are more prominent. But you've got Rochelle Frew, and then you've got Joseph Kishore, another Socialist Party, Socialist Equality Party. Then you've got Shiva Ayadurai, he's an independent. Richard Duncan, independent. A branch off of the Constitution Party. Maybe I will add, so there was a separate, whatever. I won't even worry about it. But you've got all these candidates, but they probably wouldn't win any states with all the other candidates. And then I'll mind you, RFK Jr. dropped out some time ago. So I believe that, I don't even know if all six of these will win a state, but these are the six that I have, winning, getting a significant portion of the vote. All these other candidates, I don't think any would be able to carry a state. And I'm just going to disclude Joel Skousen of the Constitution Party offshoots with okay. It's complicated random third-party stuff. The Utah, Nevada, and Idaho, they have their separate own Constitution Party of their states, and they nominated Skousen instead of Randall Terry, but I'm just pretending Skousen doesn't exist, to be honest. Okay, so with that out of the way, let's get into this video. So first of all, I'll start with Jill Stein. I think that she would win her home state, I think it is, of New York, very progressive state. You've got a significant portion of very progressive Democrats or independents too around New York City. I don't think that will be difficult. Then you've got a state like Maine where, yes, they're very freedom-minded. Chase Oliver would do well, but they are very progressive still. I think that Jill Stein would carry the at-large vote as well as the 1st District. And then, of course, her best state would be Vermont. And then you've got Hawaii too. Jill Stein would do very well in. And then, let's see. We'll go to another candidate. I think that Randall Terry of the Constitution Party would win these very libertarian but extremely conservative, socially conservative states like Idaho and Utah, and Wyoming as well. Chase Oliver is I know he's something in LGBTQ part of the community. Okay, sorry, I had to clip the video there for a second. But anyway, Randall Terry, Constitution Party, much more socially conservative. Wyoming and Utah, and there will be some more as well. And then, for Chase Oliver, he would win, some of these libertarian-minded states, but are, at least socially moderate or, socially normal, like with the rest of America. So I think that he would perform very well in a state like New Hampshire, Maine's 2nd Congressional District as well. And, even going down to a state like, this is very tough stuff, but even, Indiana, not as socially conservative as some of these more rural western states. I think that Chase Oliver would, whatever, this is so difficult for Chase Oliver. Because it's hard to tell which of these states would go to Randall Terry or Chase Oliver. But also Alaska, a very libertarian-minded state, I think would go to Chase Oliver, as well as Arizona. That's a good one, and New Mexico. They are pretty liberal-minded there. And then heading over, this is very, very tough stuff. I'm trying to think of for these other candidates. Well, I do think that Claudia de la Cruz would carry the state of California in this six-way matchup, and she actually takes the lead with that huge win. She's polling insanely well in California. She is on the ballot. She's getting like 2%, and she's like tying with Jill Stein. And she is from California, so with that home state advantage, I do think that she would be able to win there. And then as for Peter Sansky of the American Solidarity Party, he is from Connecticut. The home state advantage could help there, but his social conservative views might not play out in a pretty liberal state like Connecticut. But I do think that considering Ohio's, they have a very organized American Solidarity Party, which is interesting. And I think with that, and the fact that Ohio, is, if you think of a state that is fiscally progressive and socially conservative, Ohio is up there. It's going to be more of these Rust Belt states, right? But Ohio would be up there, and I actually would, if they have enough organization in the state, I would give Ohio to Peter Sansky. Huge 17 electoral votes there. And then in West Virginia, looking at these candidates, none of the candidates really fit West Virginia that well. A Reform Party type candidate would, but there is no Reform Party nominee. So I would give it to Chase Oliver. I would also give the state of Kentucky to Chase Oliver. I think he would do well there. Claudia de la Cruz retains her lead, by the way. Washington has a pretty organized Green Party. I really think that, these progressives will have to vote for, full-out socialist, almost communist, really, Claudia de la Cruz. So I would give Washington to Jill Stein. But I do think, for whatever reason, I just have this feeling that Cornel West would win in Oregon. I know this is a state that he's targeting in the actual election in 2024 to get a good portion of the votes there. And I think that, you've got really extreme progressives, but, really independents, right, around Portland specifically. And, yeah, if Cornel West can target the state, this could be one that, he turns out well in. I don't know what that means. But also in Colorado, this would be a toss-up between Jill Stein and Cornel West. I would give it to Cornel West, though this is another state that he's really targeting, so I will give it to him, considering how few states he's going to win. And then, I think that, I believe that Montana would go to Randall Terry. This would be a toss-up between Oliver and Terry. That's a close one. But again, Chase Oliver is gay. So I don't know how many of these, extreme conservatives really would vote for him. I don't think very many would. So then we have the Dakotas. I believe that in the end, it's only a contest between Terry and Oliver, and in the end, Terry is going to win both of these states, as well as Nebraska and the 3rd district of Nebraska. I believe that the first district would actually go to Chase Oliver. This is more, socially liberal. And then that 2nd district, they're very moderate. They're a swing district. I would give it to Chase Oliver as well. So how would Randall Terry win the at-large vote? So I guess we'll give the 1st district to Terry as well. Kansas, definitely more socially liberal than the other states. I would give that one to Chase Oliver. Oklahoma's a bit tougher. I would give it to Chase Oliver, though. I would. And then we have Texas. This one is important, and Chase Oliver actually has taken the lead. And, when you consider the state, these far-left candidates, De La Cruz, Stein, Cornel West, definitely not enough support to win the state. Peter Sansky, not enough organization. So it's down to Randall Terry and Chase Oliver. The Libertarian Party is just so much bigger. I actually would give Texas to their very libertarian state. I would give it to Chase Oliver, and that gives him a huge lead in this election. Nevada, you can just feel wants to be called over there. I would give Nevada, probably to Chase Oliver as well. I would. He's like the most moderate candidate in this race. So you got Minnesota, let's see. I think that they would probably go to Jill Stein. You do have a good amount of progressives there. Wisconsin, Peter Sonsky, in these more Rust Belt states, Peter Sonsky would be a factor. He would be a contender to win the state, I feel. I don't think that Cruz or West would be. I think that Stein could. I think it's between Sonsky and Chase Oliver, to be honest. I would probably give it to Peter Sonsky. Like, if we're talking about a six-way race, let's assume, right, there's more than, like, 5 American Solidarity Party members nationwide, right? Like, they're up there. They're a major party, so just keep that in mind there. So Wisconsin goes to Peter Sonsky. And then Michigan, Jill Stein definitely factor. You have a lot of progressives around the cities there. I don't think that Chase Oliver would do that well. Cornel West will do pretty well. Cruz might get some votes, or De La Cruz. And then Peter Sonsky, once again, a factor in these Rust Belt states. In the end, I think that Jill Stein would come out on top. I really do. And then you've got Iowa. That's a strong Chase Oliver state, I feel. A lot of libertarian-minded voters there. Then you've got Missouri. Randall Terry would make a play. He could win it there. Jill Stein could really capture that city vote. Cornel West would win a lot of city votes as well, urban votes. I think that Chase Oliver in the end, though, would come out on top with a very divided progressive electorate, which is huge for him. And then in Illinois, you just know Peter Sonsky is winning it. He would build that coalition of urban and more rural votes. With these Rust Belt states, he'll perform very well in. And so let's just take a moment to look here at the matchup. So Chase Oliver does have a lead, but Jill Stein is closing in. It's 123 for Chase Oliver, 75 for Jill Stein, 54 for De La Cruz, only one state, but she still is in third place. And then Peter Sonsky is in fourth with 46, Randall Terry in fifth with 27, Cornel West in sixth with only 18. So then we have these southern states where you got a large amount of African American voters here. They will make up a large block of the electorate. And you've got these very probably libertarian-minded but socially conservative voters. So, we're going to see a situation where it's between really Randall Terry and Cornel West in many of these states. If West can capture that African American vote, but Randall Terry can capture that conservative vote, and Peter Sonsky might get Chase Oliver getting a sprinkle here and there. So in Arkansas, I really do think that you've got a lot of libertarians in the state. I do know that for a fact. So Chase Oliver would split that conservative vote pretty severely with Randall Terry. I think that Cornel West would come out on top. I also think that West would win in Alabama, the highest amount of African American or rates of African American voters of any state. Louisiana, I do think he would win as well, but in Mississippi, Randall Terry would come out on top, less African Americans, at least than Alabama, as well as South Carolina. I think he would win, and even Tennessee. I think Randall Terry would win. And then you've got Florida, probably the most libertarian state in the nation, but also very conservative as well. So it's going to be a contest really between Randall Terry and probably Chase Oliver, I feel. This one's very tough, but, very split progressive electorate. I don't think that they would even come close, and I actually think that in the end, Randall Terry would carry the state, and that puts him way back in the race at a stunning 83 electoral votes. That puts him ahead of Jill Stein at 75, and it makes him the second place. It's all a contest to beat Chase Oliver at 123, but can anyone do it right now? That is the question. So then we've got Georgia. All these states are extremely important for Randall Terry now. Georgia, Cornel West would do extremely well. Chase Oliver, this is Chase Oliver's home state, though, and in the end, that advantage will come into play. And that really might solidify a Chase Oliver victory, but let's see what happens. In North Carolina, Cornel West does well. Randall Terry, Chase Oliver do well. I think that I would probably give it to Cornel West, I'd say. And then you got Virginia, very wealthy, well-educated state. Jill Stein probably wins around the D.C. area. You got a lot of progressives. Jill Stein also wins in Washington, D.C. And then you've got Pennsylvania, hugely important. I think that in the end, Peter Sonsky actually comes out and wins the state of Pennsylvania, probably. Don't know why, but whatever. And then we've got Maryland. Maryland is tough, but Maryland probably. I would also give this. No, Peter Sonsky can't win. It's too socially liberal. I don't feel that really anyone fits Maryland, but I would give it to Jill Stein. As well as Delaware, she'd really be able to capture these Chase Oliver. Is it possible? Let's see. Well, New Jersey, she actually does win. I'm very confident on that. And then her home state of Massachusetts, she wins easily. Oh my God, I didn't even realize this. I swear to God. And then she's at 129. Chase Oliver at 139. And you've got Connecticut and Rhode Island. If I'm being completely honest with you, I think that Jill Stein wins both, and then she wins the election by 1 electoral vote. Oh my God. Who could have predicted that outcome? I swear to God, I didn't even plan that. I do not plan these types of videos. You gotta be honest, I mean, she's winning those Northeastern votes. She really is. And she's at 140. In second place is Chase Oliver at 139. I didn't even think it was possible, by the way, at the end there, for Jill Stein to win. She's at 140. Chase Oliver at 139. In third place is Randall Terry at 83. In fourth place is Peter Sonsky at 65. In fifth is Cornel West at 57. And in sixth, all the way dead last, Claudia De La Cruz at 54. So, there you have it. Jill Stein wins. Thank you all for watching. I will see you all next time.